Alright, we almost got in perfectly and flawlessly. I gotta do the tweets and the social media, so if you wouldn't mind starting these introductions.
In the bottom right, as the orange Zerg, it's Sean.
Did you ever see Wallace and Gromit?
No.
Oh, well, for the fans out there, I'm thinking of the sheep right now, and I just can't not do it. Sean, his opponent in the top left. Oh, I gotta fix my commands because I was playing last night. Oops. It's gonna be the blue Terran player, DeMusliM. Yeah, Scumbag Rifkin played a couple of matches just to feel around with the new units. I'll have you know that my Adept Rush actually worked, and I, believe it or not, won a game with Protoss. What?
Yeah, against like
Another
bronze.
Protoss.
Oh. Well, that too, I guess.
Well, there's no ranks on betas. You can't even like hobnob your snob like that. Like, oh, you played a bronze player on the beta. It's like, well,
I'm pretty sure
for
that
your
you played
information,
someone who is not that high in the league.
actually,
Why?
I played Crank about 2 weeks ago when he was on the Nvidia stream,
Yeah.
and good guy Rifkin, I could have stream cheated, didn't. We played the game out, and in game we're just kind of lying to each other about what races we are because we're both random, and I think I spent more time typing and accusing him of being a liar than actually playing, so I lost miserably, right? I go back through the VOD, and the whole time he's nagging on me for lying. You can't trust people in Legacy of the Void, man. Even your best friends are total scumbags.
But you both were lying.
Yeah, but he lied first, you know? So,
Did he?
I mean, it instigates everything. Yeah, this video proof.
Okay.
We do have a Roach Warrant on the way here, by the way, folks. Sorry, I keep forgetting. It's Legacy of the Void. We don't have enough time to goof around. We did kind of joke about this player. I said, you know, you might be feeling like you can't take on someone like DeMusliM, so go for the Ravager Rush. It's been a really powerful move. It's been really annoying to deal with. But I kind of feel like DeMusliM, at this point, has got to have figured out some sort of defense for it.
Yeah, there's that. Plus, I don't think Sean is really, preparing for that big of a Ravager rush. I mean, he has one gas, and most of it went into, like, roaches. But he only got 3 roaches, so I guess he technically could make 3 Ravagers, but, like, that's it, just 3 Ravagers. That's not a lot. So that's a Ravager, like, push, not a Ravager rush.
No, you're wrong. See, it's still a Ravager Rush. It's just not a very powerful one.
That's why I was like,
So it's not a push, because a push would be like if you started in the middle of the map, if your timings were off. This is still a rush time. We got 2.5 minutes. We got roaches coming out, lings behind it. In fact, actually, joking aside, I kind of like this, because let's say he actually does make all 3 of the roaches into Ravagers, right? Hypothetically. That's enough to take down the supply depots, and that lets the lings flood in. So, in all honesty, this might not be such a bad move. Although, I'm not saying that this is the best version of it we've ever seen. It's something that could possibly work if DeMuslim's not paying attention.
did you notice the barracks was not in the base?
Yeah, floating it for that 6 scouting, DeMusliM going for those tanks. Who needs Raxes?
Yeah, totally. I might add on some Banshees afterwards too.
Oh,
I mean,
Dumpy
I think
Bud
they're
hype.
very effective against Ravagers and Lings.
Actually, big problem here for Sean is he actually doesn't have the Overlord in position, so anytime he wants to walk up here to attack that bunker, he is going to be just barely shot. Oh my god, really? He's going to lose the Ravager too. They don't have a lot of health. Kills a couple of SCVs with this. Almost gets the bunker, but oh man, if he had that high ground vision, he wouldn't be taking these sacrifices. And again, I really feel this almost worked, but DeMusliM with the tank in position is pretty good to go.
Like that bunker almost went down. Is like 15 health or something. Like
Cats has led me astray. Cats
Well-
actually put out a build order. He's like the first person
Yeah.
to do this.
yeah, I thought about it just because there's so many like pro players, but then I was like, man, is it like intellectual copyright or something?
What, to have a
like-
build?
No, like because they made the build order, but I'm the one that's like, yeah, totally do this. Like it's gonna be awesome.
I don't know if this is an intellectual copyright issue, to be completely honest, Omnigram.
I'm
But
just saying, they're gonna be like, yo, I made that, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, but I told people to do it, so.
well, the reason I bring this thing with Cats up, though, that I find kind of interesting is it is still the early stages of the beta. He is literally the only one who's coming anything close to releasing a build order. I think players have kind of got some set openings in mind, but generally speaking, we don't exactly have your standard 14cc 3 racks follow-up type thing anymore. Legacy of the Void has really changed a lot of those dynamics, and again, that's kind of what I love about this territory, because there's just nobody really knows anything concretely. Everyone just got an approximation of how the game should go. And for that
Yeah.
reason, it makes it more scrappy, it makes it more fun, foreigner or not. I mean, we've actually been seeing foreigners take on Koreans in these Legacy of the Void events.
Yes, that's certainly true. I mean, there are like the TVTs that we've been watching because we watch so many of them. They have pretty standard openers. So I would say like there are go-tos that provide safety, but obviously like with Ravager rushes you do have to focus your build towards that. So DeMusliM's his own command center isn't that fast. He is getting a lot of damage out with the Banshee though. So while the economy would have been like actually not so bad, it's the units that DeMusliM has over Sean here that is pretty bad. It's weird calling someone by their real name or just a real name.
What if his real name is Peter, though?
But it's a real name. Like, I don't usually do this.
Are you saying DeMusliM isn't a real name? Like, you got a bit of an accent? You're talking about DeMusliM down the street over there?
It's not a real name.
It is if you're being kind of a racist, I guess.
That's still not a real name. What the?
I don't
Although
know,
I
dude.
guess like real name could be like Rain, because people call their children Rain.
Like a waterfall.
Yeah, and then like hippies.
That is actually like
celebrity
super hippie
parents.
talk right there. Like smoking
Celebrity
some
parents,
peyote,
man.
having a baby.
Name your child West or East. I forget which one it
Northeast.
is. Yeah.
Alright, we do have DeMusliM set up here with some tank drops, and the problem is, and this has been heavily discussed amongst a lot of Zerg players, Kat's actually specifically talked about this on the late game with Lycan Group, creator of the Lycan League. There's the bump. And they basically discussed how if Terran players open with this build, it's super powerful against anything ground-based, but it's really weak against mutas, and vice versa. So the problem right now is because Sean didn't open with mutas, he doesn't have a fast anti-air, he's probably going to die to this tank drop.
Yeah. Doesn't have near enough queens to deal with 2 tanks. +1.
I mean, there's a chance maybe you've got some Ravagers and get some stray shots off, but even then, that's unlikely. Medevacs really shouldn't go down to this, and the idea is not that you deal with a tank, you sadly kind of have to ignore them. But what's worse is normally while you try to lock inside of the dead zone of the tank to shoot the Medevacs, those Banshees are guarding the tanks. So again, without Mutalisks, Sean is just going to bleed a very slow death here. And keep in mind, with his one base opener, he did go for this really dedicated all-in that did ultimately fail at the end of the day. So, this is kind of to be expected.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Oh, Lings? Oh no. KK.
Yeah, let me just one-shot them real quick, because they don't have armor upgrades. Who do?
Damn.
I'll give it to them. They spreading up the Lings pretty good. Spore Crawler is down. Gonna chase the Banshees back ever so slightly, but as soon as the Lings get cleaned up, he just uses the tanks to kill the Spore Crawler. And this looks really OP and unfair and garbage, but take my word for it, guys. This is also something that can cost you a lot as a Terran player. If you do this and they have open 2-base mutas, and you do this blindly into that, you lose Medevacs, you lose tanks. That's 400-something gas out the window at the start of the game, plus the Banshees.
It's actually rather hard to open up with tank drops. Although this is the first time I think we've seen Banshees really be on time to help. Mostly they're like they come afterwards and they're a little lackluster because the tank drop is already cleaned up too. Like, this is just the byproduct of doing that all in. It's the same result we'd see from any other all in.
Yeah, DeMusliM is making good use of the Terran changes. There we go, GG. Well, that's game number 1, guys. I see everyone face palming in chat. What did I say? I don't even remember.
Oh, the Muslim thing.
Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah, our hippie talk. There we go. Someone says smoking peyote. Alright, well, it's map number 1, and as Zombie Grub said, it is a best of 3. If you want to check out the brackets yourselves, just type !brackets in chat and take a peek at what's going on. We chose this match, though, because while we kind of figured DeMusliM would take it over this unknown player, Sean, I'm more interested in the round 2 match. Tamika's has proven to be pretty good at Heart of the Swarm, but better at Legacy of the Void. And even further in round 3, Blah, who's been a champion in the past, fights the winner of those two. So there's a lot of way the brackets could play out today. We got QXC, we got Nurchio, but keep in mind there's going to be a lot of Zergs, a lot of Terrans, and probably no Protoss. This makes the game a little bit less dynamic, I'll give you guys that much, but don't worry, Protoss. You know that if it's going to take them this long to fix it, they're going to fix it too good. And there's going to be a week where everybody hates Protoss again. But for different reasons, I guess. Where is Alaska Winter? Oh, just subbed for 14 months in a row. Hey, welcome back. Alaska Winter, of course, a wonderful longtime sub as well as a supporter on Patreon. And uh-oh, that's not good.
What?
FFA hype. It's Cactus Valley for map 2. So, rip chat. It's nice having a Twitch chat. I'll focus on CG. Zombie Grub's response to join the lobby. How did you even do this?
Lobby making noob.
Put me in, coach. Let me just leave that real quick and rejoin. Poor Sean. he's messing all the things up. Let's get back in here. Alright, so Cactus Valley, you guys know the deal. You got 30 seconds where you're allowed to break Twitch chat, but after that, you better simmer the hell down. We'll see you guys here in just a moment. Alright folks, welcome back. So I gotta turn all the sounds on. I just turned them off by mistake. Before we do these introductions, CPP Maniac, it says Base Rate TV, we see my PM and donation note about Steam keys to give away. To respond to this and blanketly for everybody, PMs got ruined last night. Basically anyone who, I think it was within like 3 p.m. till 8 p.m. yesterday that sent a sub message, basically sent 700 sub messages. I actually very literally have 15 pages of Desro letting me know that he's going to go buy a sound mixer for his subs. So if you guys have sent any messages within the last 2 days, they're not getting received. My inbox is flooded and it's taking forever to clean it out. So what I would ask is if you do have any messages you'd like us to read, please resend them. It's been a busy week in the first place for the WCS qualifiers. We were already behind in messages, and then this Twitch bug happened, which made it even worse. So we love you, but just because I didn't respond doesn't mean we don't love you. Do me a favor, resend your messages. But okay, that PSA aside, welcome back. We're in Game 2 of the Lycan League. First best of 3 today, and in the top left corner of the map, tried to make a Ravager rush happen last time. Goes for hatchery this time. It's going to be the Orange Zerg player, Sean.
The bottom right says the Blue Terran, it's DeMusliM.
DeMusliM handled that pretty perfectly, I think. You know, he got the tank out on time. He had a pretty good idea what was coming. The Rax was a little bit awkward because I don't know what he was scouting with the Rax that early, but still. His response to it was really nice because the second he cleaned it up, and I guarantee you guys, by the way, he was panicking. Like, I don't have his stream open right now, but he probably took a bit of a poop in his pants when that depot had about 1 bar of health. You know, keeping that alive was key to holding because if the Ling's on top of the tank, then it was all over. But the point is, he responded perfectly with the tank drops. He completely abused his opponent, and Sean was put on a very tough spot to be in.
Yeah. Can't really Ravager rush on this one anyways. Like, even if you wouldn't do it game 2, it's Cactus Valley cross spawns, and it would be a slow kind of rush. But there's other things you can do, I guess. You could just Baneling bust. I mean, that's always something you can do, right? Right? People that in Legacy of the Void.
Scumbags do that in Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, there you go. See? But I don't know if he really wants to cheese again. I mean, it might be his only chance at winning, sure, and he'll know that. Because, you know, he talked about being a Diamond Zerg and whatnot. But it'd also just be cool to play a fairly standard macro game against a professional player, at least in my opinion.
I agree. Maybe he thinks they can't keep up with it. I mean, I guarantee you folks coming into these tournaments, and we've talked to a lot of the ones who do it for fun. You know, for example, the Alima League has high-ranking Korean players like Marine King, Youngsik, Yanghwa, True, etc. And we have a lot of the Team Liquid guys come out, or probably, I don't know, Platinum or lower. And they just do it because they want to have some fun. So not everybody comes to these tournaments with the goal of winning and getting that money at the end of the day. And hopefully Sean, at the very least, does have some fun playing against someone like DeMusliM. Plus, it's gas. You got, it was 1,600 people. Eyes on this guy.
Yeah. Now they know the name Sean.
Yo, in before this is like day 9, right? He's like, oh, I'll hide in plain sight. I'll make my name Sean, Nobody will connect those dots. But Rifkin got you. Rifkin got you.
Oh my god, Twitch chat's gonna be so stupid now.
Probably. I was kind of sad and I didn't do any. Like, I knew everybody was like gonna do it for about a week and stop and whatever. And you know, Husky did a cast here, told the biscuits to do Shellcraft. But I was kind of hoping Day 9 would at least do like 1 or 2 things. But
Sure. Well, he had to cast Tears of the Storm.
oh yes. That's not where I was leading with that conversation, but yes.
In favor. You know, if you talk about how Sean, like, why is it spelt that way? Okay,
Scene?
like that's scene.
Have you ever seen it spelt another way?
Scene bean. Yeah, SHAWN.
Never mind.
Duh.
It was joke.
No, was it? But anyways.
You got
I
yeah.
don't
I
think
guess
it-
Apollo's name is spelled like a way that would make sense, right? Like Sean Apollo Clark or whatever.
Yeah, it's the same as spelled with like a U.
Yeah, and
It's-
SH for the sh sound.
Yeah.
You know that sound
it
you
just doesn't
love
make any
saying and
sense,
making
okay?
all the time on stream to
Sean
me.
Bean's name should be Scene Bean. Doesn't think it makes sense.
English is stupid. Let's be honest. Read, read, wind, wind, scene, bean. Nah.
God. Oh, he supply blocks. Whoopsie. Whoopsie Sheen.
I was actually, you know, I was a little bit shocked to see the Bailey nest come out part of the wall, and to be honest, get a wall in general on this map. But
Those
maybe he
queens
uses
can't
it
get
to
back, can they? Like that's.
I'm pretty sure they can. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say though, it's not gonna hurt him too much here in the early game, but I am worried about a little later on. We get a flood in, your units out of position, yada yada yada. But he's gonna try and hold on to this hatchery. Hopefully not gonna completely abandon it. The queens are quite the distance away, but 2 of them should be able to take on 1 Banshee. DeMusliM does have cloak, however. It looks like there's not detection just yet. It's the layers only finishing now. Oh, this Hellies just massacred the Lings though. That wasn't even a fair
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah, they didn't bring an overseer either, so the Banshee just cloaks up, and it looks like he'll be losing
Well,
his third.
I mean, the layer just finished, so it wouldn't be an overseeing Lings.
Yes. Well, that's a problem, though, isn't it?
You and technicalities today. Overseers, overshines, whatever. Like, calm yourself. Give these guys some
How's that a
slack.
technicality?
Well, technically you couldn't get an overseer. Technically you couldn't have broodlords either. You should have broodlords to deal with this.
I'm so confused when you bring up technical. What? Okay, buddy.
Okay, buddy. Cyclone coming up to follow this. Kind of a cool move. Cyclone's just kind of proving to be generally good units right now. Lings are pretty good against them, but if you got a lot of Hellions still alive to protect those Cyclones from the Lings, all of a sudden you don't have that same hole in your defense. And DeMusliM is probably going to come across the map and hit this hard. Now the Banelings are a cool choice, but if DeMusliM spreads even a little bit, I don't think he can kill all the Hellbats, much less make room for Queen to come in and kill the Banshee. In fact, there you go, just kind of kites back a little bit, spreads really nicely. And now the Lings flood right into the heart of all the Hellbats. Looks like he will clean this up though, but at a cost. A very expensive cost.
It was a lot of Lings, and he still doesn't have an overseer with a queen. And he doesn't have an extra queen either. So that Banshee is gonna just like, it could go back and maybe get a cancel on the third with the Spore Crawler roots, or finishes, such as drone. Moving over. Oh, behind this, DeMusliM got a third.
Yeah.
And nice to get a counter attack, you know, get the heat off of you, but there's already units ready and waiting.
Yup. Yup. Lots of Banshees remain too, so even if this was a little bit more dedicated than just Lings, I think he'd be okay to deal with it. I feel for poor Sean though, because you know what? Right now, Legacy of the Void, if you can get to things like a third base, you get to Hive Tech, those Lings actually become really good. New adrenal glands, upgrades, get some ultras in the mix, but
Wait. He's getting a second layer instead of a hive.
oh, Sean, I'm trying to build you up for potential here, man.
Well, that's a problem.
You're killing me, Sean.
I was curious as to what he's doing with the infestation pits, and I guess he did want to try and get up to what you're talking about, like adrenal glands and ultras.
Yeah, I mean, for those who don't know, Zerg really didn't have a lot of their mid game tweaked, but their late game is sick as hell right now. Really strong in all aspects, whether you're going Lurkers and Ravagers, whether you're going Ultras and Lings.
They got everything. They got early game with Ravagers, because you can Ravager rush. They got mid game with Lurkers, even though technically no one uses them, and that's whatever. Then they get this like baller late game with the new Ultras and the adrenal glands. Like Zergs didn't get any nerfs.
And yet, we still see a lot of TVT finals.
We just don't see enough Zergs join up, I would say. Like, you know, so Protoss is joining up. There's more Terrans joining up.
We actually do admittedly have 3 of the best Zergs playing today. be it TLO, Nurture, or Bly. All have been streaming a lot of Legacy, or not streaming, either streaming or playing Legacy of the Void, be it through tournaments or on their own streams. And I would be interested to see how it goes. Supernova did lose, by the way, to Ian. So, hey, speaking of which, assuming Ian's playing Zerg. Ouch.
I think it's the first time he's been able to advance farther than the first round. He seems to always get like pretty unlucky first round draws and gets knocked out. Oh, there's a hive.
Fourth. You know, just looking back on this layer a sec, hear me out, right? A lot of the times, players like DeMusliM, you know, they like to run by, they like to drop. Probably gonna lose a layer at some point. Probably gonna lose that hive at some point. What he's done is he's invested time now, so he doesn't have to later.
I see.
No, realistically speaking, it was probably just a bit of a misclick. Gotta give a big thank you to the 4-month resub, the 4-month anniversary of Maximus Black. Thanks for subscribing to the channel, man, and thanks for being one of the few Protoss to stand strong against the swarm here in Legacy of the Void. Seriously, no Protoss is a bit of a bummer. I really hope that they I know it's all about testing and you want to let extremes go, but I hope they fix them soon.
Well, I don't know about this much of an extreme. Like, they do want Protoss to be played.
Well, they just buffed the Adepts, and I think they're hoping that that'll change things around. But
that'll change everything. Change their Reaper, change the world.
Before you get too like condescending about it, like I've been watching Crank use them to great success against Hydras and other things. I mean, they've got a place in the matchup now where they didn't before. But yeah, I still don't think they're exactly gonna fix the race. DeMusliM is just taking a sweet time. Like, he's toying with his food, man. Like, this is just gonna be a massacre when he pushes. It's even if there's ultras and lings waiting for him, and they're gonna have adrenal glands. They're gonna have level 3 weapon upgrades. Keep in mind, Sean actually has a very formidable force with him. DeMuslim's is just looking a little bit better. Blue flame. Oh god. Oh god. He's actually locking onto the lings and it's working because there's so many cyclones. Someone call 911! I want to report a murder!
Oh, well, that creep threat's kind of good. Melch's covering is almost out. He's also getting a Spire. I imagine he's going to try and go for like the ultimate composition. But I don't think he's going to have time. Muslim's finally pushing out.
Yup. And DeMuslim's color is blue, so are his flames. That's working out pretty nice. I like the color schemes.
Yeah, and you know, Sean is orange, which you know, that's the flames.
I guess actually learning experience here for those who don't know about the cyclones. The weapon upgrades actually affect their lock-on damage. So they started at base 540, now up to 660, and I think it finishes at 720 with level 3. So lock-on gets more powerful as you do get upgrades. So it's definitely worth investing into for these units. No longer a question of armor or not.
That sound is kind of annoying, you know, for the cyclones. They got annoying enough.
I think everyone says that just because it's like, oh, I'm dying to a cyclone. Great. This sound is so fun to listen to.
Yeah, right? But like in universe, it must be really annoying. They're like high-pitched squeals.
Oh my god. DeMusliM, you're so mean. Keep in mind what he's doing right now, folks, is he's actually single targeting with the lock-ons. He's got auto-cast down for a lot of them, but to target the same target, you have to actually manually click that again.
Oh! That's kind of flipping things.
Yeah, Ultra can't get out of the base because of the SimCity.
Oh no! Oh no!
That is very unfortunate. Yeah, we were wondering whether the Queens would get out or not, but the Ultras definitely cannot. GG is called, and ladies and gentlemen, DeMusliM will take the series 2-0. I think it's safe to say this was a little expected, but we did pick this match because we wanted to make sure we could follow him through to his next game versus Tomikis, who has proven to be pretty good here on Legacy of the Void. I mean, really, again,